Welcome to another episode of 50 Matches of Standard. Every week I like to take a deck from the meta, and this week Boros Humans won the vote on YouTube. So the goal here is to save you money and time, so you don't invest in a deck that is doing poorly, and so it kind of give you a showcase. And so I'm going to give you a couple of the favorite games from the 50 matches, and then the match summary at the end. Overall, the deck list that I decided to run is very similar to the Boros Humans list that I covered in week 2 last Sunday. And the only changes are I decided to go up 2 copies of Lunark Veteran and cut the 2 copies of Kellen, just because I felt in best of 1 this was going to be better against mono red, and I thought mono red was going to be the most likely to occur. And the deck strategy is very similar to Mono White Humans, but we're running Inti and Anim Pakal in Boros. They synergize quite nicely with one another because whenever you attack with a non-gnome, you put a +1/+1 counter, and then whenever you attack, you can put a +1/+1 counter on an attacking creature. So if you're attacking with this, you can get an additional counter. We got Thalia and Coppercoat Vanguard, just for some classic stuff here. And then Warden of the Inner Sky is a nice little payoff to the tokens from Adeline and from Anim Pakal that allows us to put +1/+1 counters on it. And then if it gets up to 3 counters, it has Vigilance and Flying. And it allows us to scry. And then because of these other creatures that we're bringing in too are both legendary, we're able to play the Plaza of Heroes. And the Cavern of Souls is incredible fixing. So not only does it allow you to, get around counter spells, but it also, as long as your whole deck is tribal humans, right? Like as long as it's one creature type, then this is just a rainbow land. You tap it for any color. So it's been really nice for being able to play these red splashes. And I've felt like the mana has been doing very well. So remember to hit like and subscribe for near daily Magic the Gathering content. At least that's the end goal. And enjoy the matches, and I'll see you at the end. All right, so we're on the play. We have Plaza and a Plains. It seems decent. And this allows us to play the Inti. So we can go Lunark Veteran, Coppercoat Vanguard. We go to Lunark Veteran, Inti, Recruitment Officer. Kind of a couple of different lines that we could take here, and with going first we don't know, so I'm going to go with the Recruitment Officer because it attacks better if my opponent plays a tap land on turn 1 and is like in domain. If we're against mono red, I'm going to wish I had played the Lunark Veteran to get as much life as I could possibly manage. And it looks like we are up against mono red, of course. Alright, so now we've got choices. We could go with Inti. It's more of an aggressive play. I think this deck does not do very well on blocking, so I think I like Coppercoat Vanguard, just because if we can get another Coppercoat Vanguard, it limits the interaction that our opponent can give us. And since we're not blocking their plays, just try to push as much damage as possible and race mono red. If they play like the 1/1, okay, it's just fine. I was like, if they end up shooting the Coppercoat Vanguard is where everything falls apart. But if they just make this into a 3/3 and like go for the race, I'm fine with that. And now we've got to make a decision about whether or not we play the Adeline out versus... I kind of like Lunark Veteran into Vanguard. Set up Adeline later. It gives us more life. And it gives us a ward on our Coppercoat. So I'm thinking this is an okay line. But Adeline would have been okay too. Because Adeline just like stops mono red's plan. Yeah, so now they don't want to trade the Lunark Veteran. So this is good for us. And now we can go with the Adeline. It gives us 2 life. I think I'm fine with all of the trades here too. Yeah, and they just scoop it up. Take that, mono red. All right, we're on the draw, and the draw is hard, but we've got Thalia into Adeline, which can just win us some games. We've got Get Lost if we're up against something scary. Green-white. Got the Simic Manland. I don't know what... This could be the Reanimator, this could be the Atraxa Squirming Emergence, try to mill things as quickly as possible. Schooner. Okay. Could get lost on the Schooners, interesting. Because now they're going to have a 3-4. Oh, this is just straight up a Simic Explore deck. Ah, this is the Simic Artifacts deck from Ash. Yes. Yes. Okay, well... I can play Adeline and not take a damage. I can get an Anim Pakal, which... earlier the better. I do take a damage to do so. I think this is a good turn 3 play. Problem is next turn we're taking 7, 8, the +1/+1 here. Yeah, okay, tough cookie. For some life gain. This is a cool deck. Let's see if I can pilot it well enough to beat it. I got my worries though. I think we're in trouble. So take the 7. Plan to leave a 1/1 black back to chump block. I can ditch an Adeline here. I think I go Inti, Coppercoat Vanguard. Ditch an Adeline. And then the heat is on. And I think I will leave back a 1/1 because I want a chump block. I think I need a chump block here. Oh, was I supposed to reorder that? If I had ordered this first, I think I actually could have gotten one more attacking gnome. So, you know, just punts to be had. Okay. Adeline would have made these into 2/1 attackers. And there's some interesting lines with this deck. For sure. The problem here is that they can gain 3 life and gain 3 life. So they're at 13. No attacks. Okay, Get Lost is looking pretty good here. Can I kill them? I get a metric ton of gnomes. So I think, oh, they can crew in response, so I don't really get to like clear the way there. They can block and sack with the tough cookie. Let's see. I could play Adeline. It gives me another 1/1 blocker or 1/1 attacker. Okay. We'll see. I think I go attack all. Discard the Adeline. Get Lost on something. I can't decide yet. Alright, so we want this one first, I think. Let's try that. So, Inti first. Put the +1 on here. Gives me 5 attacking, so that did work. Okay. It's a lot of 1/1 attackers. Now, I could have done the get lost before declaring blockers, but I'm kind of hoping to blow up whatever they block with an Anim Pakal, because it has trample. Okay. So they're going to... Let's see, they've got 3... Yeah, I was like, they're going to 13, and that's, like, well beyond lethal. Sorry, Simic Artifact deck. Alright, we're on the play. We have Cavern. We got several. Okay, so we can go... Recruitment Officer pushes a little bit more damage than Lunark. Lunark gains us more life if we do it the other way, though. Okay. Still not sure exactly which one's the best turn one, but I've found myself going for Recruitment Officer most of the time. Looks like a mulligan to 6. I guess I go Lunark Veteran because next turn we're going to do Recruitment Officer and Warden, and I could just tap all 3 to give Warden the +1/+1. It's at least an option, whereas if I play with the Recruitment Officer, it would be more like to just attack. Question is whether or not putting the +1/+1 counter on there is better, but now that I've done this line, that's what we're doing. Gain 2 life. Go boop. Boop, boop, boop. Sets up a scry so we can miss the land. Recruitment Officer is better turn 1 play than it is later. I think I want to try to find like the Inti combo. Could have been good enough to just keep. Alright, so this is the Reanimator deck. This is the one that's just trying to win through the reanimation. I think Anim is better than Adeline on 3. Just because it you immediately start growing it. And the whole point here is to get Atraxa out for cheap. So our life total is not very important. Okay, so no Atraxa yet. Picklock. So they probably go for a mill play here. Ah, there it is. Okay, so now do they have the Squirming Emergence? They do not have the Squirming Emergence yet. I don't think I can just sit back and wait. So I think we just have to throw an Anim Pakal here. But we are going to go incredibly wide. And they didn't have one? Ah, they didn't have an instant or sorcery. Hey, that's good. Okay, they also didn't have the reanimation. This deck can get like a turn 3, turn 4 Atraxa out, and it's disgusting when it happens. Leave up a Rainbow Land, or do the Recruitment Officer dig. Feels okay. If I can hit a 1-drop, then Adeline trades with Souls instead of just dies. Nice. I think that's pretty good. They're not dead yet. So now they have to get the Atraxa out. Are they going to be able to cheese it? Here's the question mark, right? Here's the Squirming Emergence into Atraxa. Okay. So now we need to get a Get Lost. Because they're at 10 HP. Top deck hero, stars in his eyes, and the one guitar. Yeah, we can do both. Boop. They almost made it back. Got him. All right, on the play. Hopeful Initiate into Thalia, into Coppercoat Vanguard. We just pretend that we're playing mono white. Mono white on the pass, huh? Looking okay for us. Turn 1, nothing. Turn 2, nothing. Got blue? Ah, Azorius Control shows itself. Ah, Sunset Revelry? Okay, okay. Well, that's a lot of lands for us. Guess we got a Gonjo. There's not a lot of targets, so if they multiple block Coppercoat, I just would Gonjo it. There's not that many targets to a Gonjo, so keeping Coppercoat alive here is a good thing. And the Sweeper. Temporary lockdown is a problem for this deck, and not being able to attack with an Anim Pakal is kind of a bummer. It can rebuild. We usually get one more, so if they sweep us again here, it's just a scoop. Right? Like if they play Sunfall or Depopulate, save yourself some time. Thalia is at least preventing the Sunfall until turn 6. In creature, enchantment, or planeswalker, we can kill the temporary lockdown. Oh, I think that's worth doing. But do I do it at the end of their turn? Let's see. I would get a Hopeful Initiate, a Thalia, and a Coppercoat Vanguard. One of the Thalias would die. I would hit for 1 extra damage, but I'd give everything Ward. Huh. I think I'm going to do it at the end of their turn. In case they have a Sweeper, it's a pretty good rebuild. Because the Gnome doesn't get a +1 damage from... I guess I would have done 2 more damage. So if they go land, depopulate, I'm be really happy with the way I did it. Okay, here we go. I think I want to do it now. You get some map tokens. And they're done. Alright, drum roll, final game. We've got Lunark, Veteran, into Thalia, and the Coppercoat. It's, you know, classic mono white start. We are on the draw. But I like it. Irix. Oh my, we're up against Celestia Toxic. So our life gain from Veteran feels kind of bad. Oh, this is Simic Toxic. Oh, this one's the combo deck, and they've got 2 Rot Priests. This is GG. We are in trouble. I could have done the Coppercoat Vanguard and then attacked with the Lunarch Veteran. That would have been a more aggressive line. But I thought using Thalia, like playing Thalia here was good. Okay. Lunarch Veteran is better to block Toxic than it is the life gain. We're going to die long before life ever matters. Oh, although we would have been able to trigger Adeline. Actually, that was probably a mistake to block. Because now I've got an Adeline without an attacker, which feels bad. It just felt right at the time, because I was like, we're going to die from Toxic. I still think we're going to die from Toxic. Oh, damn it. And then that would have been a 2-4, which wouldn't have given them the free block here. Gonjo. Alright, can we stabilize? Thalia plus Coppercoat's a pretty good stabilization. And we get Adeline. Like we could swing this back in our favor. It's gonna be tight, but we could do it. Okay, we're dead in 5 more Toxic counters. Which again, if they target anything, or if I target anything, happens pretty damn quickly. But we're going to play Inti to give this trample. I think I like the Recruitment Officer just because it hits harder, right? I think them trading a Rot Priest would be good for us. I do think I'm just going to attack all. We get a free block on the 1/1 if they want it. Oh no, that's right. Coppercoat makes that into a 2/1. Alright, I think if they trade a Rot Priest here, that's good. They multiple block the Vanguard. I accept these terms. Because with 2 Rot Priests in play, the version I used to play in this Simic deck uses Mist. If you have 2 Rot Priests in play, they just like target the board and suddenly you give your opponent 10 Toxic out of nowhere. Oh! Oh, maybe I shouldn't have attacked with Thalia. Interesting. Okay. I still think it's good to just get one of those off the board. But I didn't think about the tax being problematic for them. I thought they would have maybe taken the Vanguard. Okay, Skrelv. We're gonna have red. Okay, they have another Venerated. Woo, buddy. Right. Okay, so we can discard the Adeline, that's fine. Inti being red is going to be huge, because otherwise Skrelv could just get through all of our defenses. Again, I think them losing a Rot Priest here is advantageous. So I think I'm just going to maximize the damage. Go with the trample play, discard the Adeline. Swing. Discard this. Give this trample. I guess I could have given the Vanguard +1/+1 and then they couldn't multiple block it, but I think giving that trample's better. Celestia Toxic, man. Haven't seen you in a while. That's 7 damage going through, and then they've got 7 here. So they're just accepting death. I think they forgot about Trample. Got him! Thanks for watching to the end of the video. After the 50 match summary, I'd say the deck did pretty well from the bottom of Platinum up to nearly Diamond. We made it just into Plat 1, so we're 5 wins away from actually crossing the line. And the deck did phenomenal. 52% on the draw, 78% on the play. It even did better than the Celestia Enchantments deck, and it was a joy. It was an absolute joy. There was a time there at the beginning where it was struggling a little bit on the draw, and so like any deck, it struggles on certain matchups on the draw, but it didn't. It felt really good. Playing it, like, it didn't have any problems against mono red. Even when you were on the draw, you could beat mono red when they had the play, which felt really good. It seemed like an obvious improvement from mono white, 6-1 against the mono white matchup. So I like the inclusion of Inti and Anim Pakal. And then played a ton of Azorius Control. Most of this was Azorius Control. So it's tied for the second most amount on the ladder. I was surprised because Azorius Control wasn't that prevalent last season. So we're definitely seeing a lot more of that. This was a Esper mid-range, which felt okay. Nothing special. The more interaction that your opponent has, it feels bad the more interaction they have, right? So like against mono red, if they have the spells to remove your creatures, then it feels worse. Esper mid-range, same thing. If they have the cut downs, the go for the throats, that's just a tough matchup. It did feel better against Domain than the Celestia Enchantments because I felt like I could more consistently beat my opponent before Sunfall. But conversely, it did worse against the Celestia Enchantments, which felt like a rough matchup. Because we were trying to go wide, and if they remove an Anim Pakal or Adeline, it kind of just falls apart with their ossification. And yeah, and then there was a couple of others that were just, small matches here and there, but nothing that really just stood out as a problem for the deck. And so I highly recommend checking it out. I enjoyed it. I think it'll, almost got me to Diamond, and I wasn't playing it perfectly. So remember to hit like and subscribe for more weekly content. I do at least one of these a week, and then every Sunday I go over kind of a meta review of Standard. So I also do some stuff for Draft. I have a podcast and such. So, Magic content, if you like it, welcome to my community. So take care, everybody. Have a wonderful weekend, and I will see you all later.